Hi, this is Ron Turner of FrontRunner 2020. Welcome to this episode of the FrontRunner 2020 series.
Here's a thought. You have to get the word to everyone at least 3 to 4 times in order to have a chance of getting them to vote for you because he wants to, and not just for you because he's against the other candidate. But when no one knows each candidate, then you have to make contact some way 3 or 4 times in order to even just have a chance of getting him to vote for you. So that's real important. And when you're in rural area and trying to get communications across, there's some different things. You know, let's say, for instance, Briscoe, Darling, and Charlene, Darling of the mountains don't have television or just don't watch very much. They hardly come to town unless something special like maybe Charlene's courting Andy or maybe to vote. Or they don't have computer and don't get a paper. You have a chore of getting it to them. Well, in reality, Ron, it's just about a thing of the past. But very seldom that older folks use a computer because it's changed. And like I say, it is the biggest block of voters you have to depend on, 55 and up. And I know about change. I'm 64. And sometimes I try to do the very best I can, but sometimes, you know, you have to push yourself to stay up with times. However, most of the youth does have computers and phones that will hit the web, and you have to incorporate them into the campaign to get the word to their folks. It is a necessity in running a rural area campaign. More than likely, you're not going to get to visit everybody. More than likely, everybody won't get a chance to have somebody come to the door. You will cover a lot of it, but you will be able to hit more with that computer and with Facebook and all the other stuff, keeping the people, young people abreast. They will get the word to the parents. And I know
Now, let me emphasize that point, because when you said that to me, Roadblock, I was really impressed because you're the first person I heard say that and I apologize if I'm stealing your thunder here, but the idea of crossing the generation, because a lot of people say either or. Well, you got the reliable older voters that aren't online, and then you got the younger people that are carrying around iPhones and you know, playing games on them all the time. But then tell me what you were saying about looking at both of them together and the relationships between the generations.
Well, it's simple. Let's just use me for an instance. Of course, you know, I'm in the business, so I pretty well try to keep up with politics. And let's say I'm 65, okay? Mm-hmm. I'm not getting out very much or anything else. I don't go very much. I don't really get into TV. Radio, I don't do very much radio. I maybe just go out and farm or do something all day. And I don't have the time to really do all those things that should be done for communications if you want to stay up to par. But if my son comes in at 30 years of age and says, "Pop, I met this guy I really like. I'd like for you to vote for him. He's got a lot of good ideals." Now, keep in mind, I probably won't even meet you. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take my son's advice. He's 30. Something that he wants. And, you know, I mean, that's why that you have to have those younger people. Let me give you, for instance, Obama, believe it or not, the young people really came aboard for him. Mm-hmm. And I see lots of these campaigns, especially U.S.-wide, where that they're catering to younger folks in order not to necessarily just get their votes, but get the other votes too. And you have to have them crossed up, you know. And like at the same time, if you have somebody that is of age, 60, 65, 55, and they say, you know, I've got a friend, I know this guy, and, you know, I think he'll make us a good candidate, and he'll do something for us. you know, and if my son hears that, guess what he's going to do? So it's all about communications, but you have to have some type of positive communications for you, or else, you know, you're just on your own. So I'd rather have somebody talking for me than not talking at all.
Mm-hmm.
Rural folks sometimes need help from some political people. And sometimes they have a special person in the neighborhood that can get something done when needed uptown, you might say. We know in the mountains and hill country here in Kentucky, you have to go see the man at the mouth of the hill. Now, because everyone that lives at the head of the holler or at the top of the hill is usually related to or know the family at the mouth of the holler. Now, I know that kind of sounds a little bit different, but a lot of towns and stuff has hollers and hills and mountains and national forests and stuff, and this is part of it, you know. These are the people that you have to see one-on-one, because those can't, those that can get up down the hill politically, they usually need a little help sometimes, and they will help. So here's a tip. Ask them to go with you if you're going politicking, especially in the hill area. Do not go by yourself. It's cost you time because you don't have a way of getting away from them. And not only that, you don't know all the area. He will help you navigate. But the main thing is, after 4 or 5 minutes, he can help you get to another location. Well, John, we need to go. We got to go over here and see another one somewhere. And it's a big help to you. So it really cuts down on your time, and it gives you more time to do political fundraising, which is the key to everything for here. Always ask the person to be honest with you that goes with you, and tell him that if he doesn't get along with someone, to tell you, because you don't want to take him there, because if he does, they're going to be against you because of that person. So that's just some of the things. One of the ways you can see more voters at one time is to have a social get-together, coffee or cake, and maybe a few local pickers that will donate their time. This is always a hit with the country folk. Always have the donation box there as well as a volunteer sheet, and try to get their address and phone numbers. But that's a real good little thing. People get excited when they're around music, and they also get excited when they have a get-together. So, and that's especially in the hill country. It is very important to have someone in each precinct that can work with absentee ballots. Now, while everyone is doing phone banking, canvassing, or visiting, if someone says they can't get to the voting poll, write it down and make sure you get it back to the ones that is handling that district. Ask for the phone number and address and tell them that they will call them back and make arrangements to get an absentee ballot or to deliver them to the poll. And if you see an elder person living by themselves, write it down and let them turn it in, and let the get out the vote people get them to the poll. And this is a must for a rural 55 and up group in the rural area. Another tip, never drive a Rolls Royce politicking. The darlings might go vote, and they already think that you're one of the rich dogs no matter what you do. So it's okay to show success, and you need to show success, because they won't vote for you if you're not a successful person to some extent. But don't rub it in their nose. And that's a real good tip for the country folks. Ron, is there anything that we need to talk about other than that? I know I went over your time, buddy.
Well, we're doing
I'll stay as long as we can.
We're doing all right here.
Some country ideals, yeah.
No, it's good. You covered a lot of it here, and I got us on a slide here. Andy wins re-election.
That sounds pretty good, buddy.
So there we go. Is that he I guess they don't have term limits in Mayberry, because he was on for a lot of seasons.
Well, I was first sheriff here that could succeed himself, so I got lucky. And, But you know, these campaigns and stuff, there's so much to do. Ron, I would like to say this. If I know I'm managing a campaign, and I would suggest this to the people who are starting a campaign, you need to get started in September if you're going to be running in May. Now, that is if you have someone managing your campaign, because there's a lot of things to do, and there's a lot of it that has to be done in order to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
Here's another thing I think that maybe me and you were talking about. If you have in mind that you're going to run, let's say, for instance, the election was just over this year, and I'm thinking about I'm going to run the next 4 years, you have to kind of do your self-exploration on it yourself for a long time, because if you let someone know, then they're going to have plenty of time to beat on you.
Mm-hmm.
And they will beat on you that way.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, sometimes you can lose a race before you even get started, by people knowing it. People saying, he can't win or whatever. Whereas you're not giving them a chance to run your campaign. You're already putting yourself out there for the public to get after. So
Mm-hmm.
if you know you're going to run, do your homework, but don't let anybody know it.
No, that's a good comment to make. Yeah, that's right, because I was curious about what someone does early.